Good evening. This is CTV News for Monday, March 20th. I'm Denise Douglas.
And I'm Patricia Malone. Glad to have you with us tonight. Well, officers make an arrest following a stabbing at Crossland High School early this morning. According to police, a current student got into a verbal altercation with 18-year-old Nathaniel Coates, a former student outside of the school. The male victim was with a masonry class working to repair a brick wall when the incident occurred. He was taken to a hospital with non-life-threatening injuries. A PGCTV security officer discovered a weapon on the scene. Police are working to determine what sparked that incident.
Supreme Court nominee Neil Gorsuch began the first of several days of his confirmation hearing with broad support from Republicans. Gorsuch is a federal appeals court judge from Colorado. Legal experts call his credentials sterling, adding that his brand of constitutional interpretation is similar to that of the late Justice Antonin Scalia's. Some Democrats say they want to hear his views on voting rights, abortion, and other issues. Maryland Congressman Elijah Cummings says he has reservations about Gorsuch.
I have a bitter taste in my mouth with regard to what happened with Judge Garland and when they told President Obama that he could not even get an up and down vote on his nominee. I think the jury is still out. I've read a lot of his decisions. Being a lawyer, I'm kind of interested in those kind of things. And I think that basically you're going to have a man who will be more like Scalia, and we will move more and more towards that very conservative court.
The confirmation hearing is scheduled to wrap up on Thursday.
Senator Ben Cardin leads a roundtable discussion in Silver Spring. The topic, repeated judicial rejections of President Trump's proposed travel bans on majority Muslim countries. Several organizations focused on providing support to immigrants and refugees participated in that discussion.
Well, it's extremely frustrating. It takes a long time to get here. And now you're at the stage where you see light at the end of the tunnel, and all of a sudden the president's executive order says you can't come here. It's a horrible message. And of course, on the visa programs, people from certain countries are being denied the opportunity. They wonder whether America really speaks to a welcoming country. So I'm here to learn firsthand from those who are on the front lines of helping our immigrant community as to what impact the executive order would have if it goes into effect.
And today's roundtable took place at the highest headquarters, a global Jewish nonprofit that administers refugee resettlement and humanitarian programs.
It is a big day for many pieces of legislation in Annapolis. Known as Crossover Day, the House and Senate will aim to pass bills they plan to send to the other chamber this session. We spoke with Senator Richard Madalano about the legislation he expects will make it.
Obviously, we've worked very hard to enact a fair and smart earned sick leave proposal. Now both houses have passed those, so that issue has to be reconciled. I thought we were going to wind up taking up fracking, and hopefully we will still pass a very clear bill that bans fracking. Obviously the state budget has already passed the House, and I think they're going to move on the capital budget today, and so we'll be ready. We start on the Senate floor tonight the conversation about the state budget, so I think a lot of the major issues have made it through one chamber.
A bill that does not pass a chamber today is referred to the Rules Committee, where it could languish without action. While Republicans in Washington continue to make a case for their version of a new health care bill, top Democrats are speaking out against it. Congressman Steny Hoyer and his colleagues held a press conference today. They are against repealing the Affordable Care Act for a number of reasons, including that it would leave many people uninsured and will be costly for the state. The lawmakers are calling on Governor Larry Hogan to oppose the dismantling of the current law.
The effects of the bill right here in Maryland would be devastating. Here are these figures. 398,200 Marylanders would lose their insurance. About 60,000 of those are children. Marylanders would lose health coverage. In my district, 44,000 people would lose health care. One half are employer-based insurance. More than 50,000 healthcare jobs in Maryland could be lost. So this is not only an issue of healthcare for Marylanders, it's also economic consequences would be devastating, and we would lose some 50,000 jobs.
Because ultimately it comes down to our budget and our ability to insure these individuals. So I think it's time that we all join together, Governor Hogan, the congressional delegation, and legislature, to make sure that we are on record opposing anything that would diminish the Medicaid rolls in the state of Maryland.
The House version of the Republican bill is scheduled for a vote on